What's up everyone, Speedy here, welcome to this 1v1 video. As you can see by the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be doing something a little different. So basically what we're going to be doing is 2 games of ranked 1v1, and then right after that we're going to go into some replay review. I'm going to pick one of the 2 games, with whichever game has the best teachable moments, and we're going to focus on trying to kind of teach myself a bit, kind of learn from mistakes, have a different perspective on the game than I did when I was playing. So like this guy here. Wait for their cut. Let's bring it back to safety. It'll take time. Single up here. Let's be careful for the play. Ooh, that was scary. Okay. Kind of just push in a little bit just to see if I can get them to go a little bit faster. I'm gonna grab most of these boosts. Power slide cut. That's gonna put them in an awkward spot. Can't really commit here. Can do is chip. That's gonna bounce off the corner here. Here, just kind of keep it close. Just gonna go for the air dribble bump. See that coming early, so that's why I kind of position myself. Here, don't have to go for a shot. Now, the goal there is, because the opponent got greedy for the corner boost there, take the moment to kind of like set up the angle you want and recognize that you have time to shoot far post. So there, it's really important to shoot far post. That might be something I cover in the replay after this next couple games. They're kind of shot. Not an ideal touch. Fine with them getting that corner boost. Get the bump there. It's gonna good touch there. Good bump. Fortunately, didn't get myself to a good spot. He saw the bump a bit earlier. Honestly, what I could have done there is I knew he was going to go for a play. It's just a matter of like I didn't set myself up into a better spot. So that might be something we kind of take a look at. Don't have to go for a shot. Can do. Get the early touch here. Get the early play here. I should have been more careful. I tried to trip him up there. Just gonna go for a boom. It's gonna be a bit awkward here. I need to grab this pad. Just gonna be careful here. He's gonna go for a control touch. Fine with the bump. They're just being patient. Heading it that way, and grab this boost. Rush my touch. Just too slow. So what I could have done is, that's kind of a decision error there, in terms of going for that early air dribble. It's a good mechanical idea, just decision-wise, it wasn't really a great one. Yeah, let's take time. Nice, good pressure. Not exactly perfectly accurate like I wanted, but still it does put like good substantial pressure into the play there. What helps is not really jumping. I wanted to go for like a wave dash play there, and I just fucked it up. So that's a mechanical error. Yeah, got myself scored on twice now, so I'm losing this game just because of those errors there. So again, these are little things to be aware of, and it may be this first game, depending on how game 2 goes, that we look at those mistakes. At the bump. That bump actually works in my favor. Here, stay grounded. Just gotta stay back. Can't commit to that, not on 0 boost. That I can go for. And very easily go for it. So there, you want to jump early. If you see that you're kind of in a position where you might go head-to-head with your opponent and there's potential that you might get bumped, try to jump high so you're in a bit of a safer spot. Don't tunnel vision for the shot there. Nice. Does put pressure on them, so I'm okay with that. Might go for a delay here. Opponent kind of like flounders that opportunity. I go for a side here. I go for that mid boost here. Soft touch here. I'm just going to go for control touch. And I lost the game because of that. GG. So definitely a lot of teachable moments this game for sure. Something I could work on is just being a bit more careful about the overcommit there. So there's a few things we could work on there just from the replays. Potentially, if it doesn't take too long of a time, I may do 2 replays, depending on like how the second one goes. If the second one's just a normal game and do really well, this first game will definitely have a lot more teachable moments. So I could definitely tell this game for sure there was a lot of moments where just kind of be careful about certain decisions. If you have bad mechanics, that's one thing. You could work on mechanics easily. Bad game sense is a lot harder to correct, especially if you have bad fundamental awareness or if your awareness is incorrect on certain situations. You may make a lot more mistakes. So let's try to channel that awareness and try to improve going into game number 2 here. Here, just fake child there. Can't commit here. He's gonna boom it. Can't really... I could have gone for that, but it would have been a bit of an awkward position. That's a good boom. Could have actually shot that. I still can't shoot that. Okay, he fucked up his recovery. Honestly, I should have actually gotten scored on earlier. I was definitely in a bad spot, and he just overshot and posted. That's the classic post ping. Not too worried. Just aggressive. Here's play infield a little bit. Just take time. Let's play the bounce. He's gonna get an early pop here. He fucks it up. You see how I was expecting him to go for that touch here? It's a bad play. So that there is a decision error, not a mechanical error. And the reason is because I made the decision to go for a power slide cut when he was challenging. And it's the timing of when he's challenging that was incorrect. Here, just rip a shot. It's going to be hard for him to save. That's going to boom off the side here and get a free open net. So there's just playing for the opponent's kind of pressure here. That's kind of the main thing you want to do is apply pressure in that position. Puts him a bit more awkward as well. So you can kind of force a good position to work with and kind of go from there. Nice. Pretty risky play for me to do that, but it worked because I had pressure. Again, pressure is kind of the key element there. If you put yourself in a position where the opponent has to actually like play around you, you can kind of make them do things that are going to be more favorable for you, and that's going to be kind of the key as a player. He doesn't know how much boost I have, so I can play with that. Let's put a rapid shot on. Bring it back to my corner. Must be aggro, that's fine. Also use this boost, doesn't matter to me. He's out, he's just flipping around. It's a good save there. Definitely a bit of an awkward position. Flip up a little bit here. He's gonna have possession though, so I need to be careful. It's fake chow here. Goes for the air dribble bump. That's a very common thing people go for, and I'm very much aware of the air dribble bump play. If you know how to counter it, it's not super threatening. Go for this. Okay, what helps is not fucking tripping over the post. I actually had a perfect position to save that from, but I ended up hitting the post. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, it's just about awareness there. That was poor awareness, kind of not recognizing my like space to work with. And lost two kickoffs, or lost a kickoff. And got scored on twice because of the mistake. So again, it's like you see how like a mistake can compound. This is 1v1s, and 1v1s mistakes matter a lot because of the potential for more kickoff goals. With the late reset, okay, just try to apply pressure. Good attempt. Super weak shot, unfortunately. Not a lot of time to really get the amount of like force I wanted. It's definitely awkward. Bring it back to the corner. They're gonna boom it again. Okay. What I need to do here is not lose the kickoff, ideally. He wins the kickoff by throwing it. That's really fortunate. It's gonna get possession. Yeah, he literally wins the kickoff for kind of a dumb reason. It's going to bounce favorably for him, so I have to be careful here. Actually thought he was going to go there. Should have shot that. Can't overcommit. Need to grab pads. Here, that's going to bounce favorably for him, so I need to be careful here. Just stay backboard. Here, try to get to a boost position that I can work with. That boost should be back. Nice. Let's take time. He gets a good spawn. Does he get good spawn again? Wow, that's insane. Well, you're not saving that, bud. Hell of a shot. GG. Alright, well, we have definitely some good material for us to work with. Let's go right into the replay review. Alright, so here we are in the replay portion of the video. So what we're going to do first is start things off with the kickoff here. So good thing to do is win the kickoff. My positioning here, paying attention to the opponent, one of the things you want to kind of look at is where your opponent is relative to you. You see how the opponent is pretty much close to dead center, but I am a little bit kind of more off to the side and a little slow here. See the distance here, he's a lot slower, or he's a lot faster here. I was fortunate this worked, but one of the things you have to be careful about is being slow on the kickoff. It has to do with my approach here. Is kind of came off the boost here, kind of a slight delay. This can work as a delay. In this case, obviously it did work because then you kind of set up here. One thing I'm not really good at is being aware of when to flip and also the direction of flips. It worked in this case, but that's not something I've really been able to channel and harness consistently. Next is this kickoff. This kickoff actually leads to a pretty good teachable moment here. So paying attention to this spot here, look about where I end up winning the kickoff. So I don't get possession, but one thing that's important besides the mechanical error here, just have to take more time to make sure I get my speed flip correct. I'm fortunate enough that I was able to land within it. That mistake there almost costed me the boost and a really good position. So one thing to pay attention to is this right here. So I'm going to turn around and you're going to see the way I'm facing right here. So if this opponent was an opponent that had control of the ball, and they were trying to set up an air dribble, for example, like a wall to air dribble, they could go a few different directions. They could go close post, mid post, or far post. Or they could go around depending on the way they want to play. They can go for air dribble bumps. But if you pay attention to the way I'm positioning, you see how I'm positioning from the left side here. I'm not trying to position in middle here, where this opponent can go left, they could go right. But in this case, I'm staying on the left here and forcing the opponent to have to go to the other way. This guy ends up messing up the air dribble attempt, so I'm able to immediately set myself up for that boost there. But it's kind of just an awareness thing you want to go for. Good possession grab here. This is a kind of tricky spot because the opponent sees there's a contestable ball. He stays back because he's low boost. I recognize he's probably low boost. I didn't know how much he has. Here, could be more patient here. I like the idea for the pop, but it does give possession away. The opponent stays pretty patient here, and then they end up getting a good touch. What's really important is doing this. This is a very much normal thing to do in ones. If you're in a position where you can't get a clean possession, but you have possession, bring it back to safety. Bring it back to safety, and you'll have a better position to work with. There, this is good patience. Almost converted it into a goal. One thing you want to do here is if you want to be able to get a pop off the wall here, so this right here, if you're quick about it, use the wall as a teammate and bounce it off the wall. I wasn't able to get that done in time. It was a bit slow there. If you're really quick about it, you can get a pop here, and this pop now puts the ball in a perfect trajectory that you can just get behind it and slot it right into the goal. So just a small thing there. I wasn't able to convert there. It's a good idea for the power slide cut. Can't commit here. Have to kind of be patient here. kind of an awkward spot. This is a pretty bad touch here. So one of the things you don't want to do is turn upfield when you know the ball's in a spot that you cannot control. So what I mean by that is, you see how in this case I'm turning upfield thinking I can get a possession play, and I jump. As soon as I jump right here, the first thing you could do is you could go for a power slide cut and pop it back, or the smart thing to do would be to quickly get possession while the opponent's getting set up and immediately bring it back to safety. I didn't do either of those things, and I put the ball in the spot where I could have gotten scored on there. So, and if the opponent didn't mess this up, this would have absolutely been a goal right away. Like, this is absolutely should have been a goal. So again, it's just, that's a big mistake there, decision making wise. I like the idea of the power slide cut because it forces a bad touch from the opponent, but it's not enough of a pop for it to really be effective. Here, if I want to be able to go for a shot recognizing pressure, I need to not be so close to the play. So one of the things that's really key here is recognizing right here. This is as far as I need to be, because look, if I get closer here, look how much harder the shot becomes. Shot gets tougher and tougher, tougher and tougher, and this isn't really a shootable angle. But if I stay back along this pad lane right here, and I stay about here, guess what? This position, boom, like that. Look how open that is. Look how open that is. That opponent was doing that whether I was touching the ball or not. That's the really, really key thing. That was going to happen whether or not I was able to get a contact with the ball, which means that if I stayed here, that would have been 100% an open net and could have just blasted that into the net. I would have been a goal right there, 2-0. I like the idea here for going the power slide cuts. Backflip flicks are effective, but they can also be really committal. The closer you are to the net, so think of this goal zone right here, right? So this semicircle here, the closer you are into the central area here, the harder it's going to be for you. Like, really, the harder it's going to be for you to really make an effective play, because you can backflip flick, but the thing is that you're going to be in a position where you're not going to really be able to follow it up. But if you backflip flip here, and then you're in a position here, you can follow this up a little bit better because you'll be here, and then you can make a touch here. So say, for example, let's watch it back a little bit. And then you see how, like, I was kind of late here. This position, if I was able to get control a little earlier and go for that, that would have worked. Need to kind of take a bit more time. I like the idea for going for a quick shot here, but it's a really poor shot because of this angle. So if I go to player view, pay attention to the way I get contact here. So because I rush it, by the time I actually get contact here, I'm already actually hitting it with the hood of my car just ever so slightly, and that's what causes the super soft contact. So there, if I delay it just a tiny bit more and then go for the contact just a little bit later, so right here, wait a moment, and then just after I get it, then get that contact, I wouldn't have actually shot it so softly, and I actually could have gotten a really good rip towards the back post. So that's just a small thing, but that's what is essentially is a kind of, I would say, a mechanical error in terms of shooting potential. So this kind of goes back to the earlier example of why a decision can be really bad, but a mechanic can be really good. This is a position where if my awareness to slow it down just a little bit was better, I could have very well gotten set up here. I don't mind the idea of trying to go for an air dribble here, but the problem is I had way too much entry speed and I couldn't make contact the way I wanted. One thing you could do is here, like on that bounce, slow it down just a tiny bit. I don't have to full speed go crazy into it, because that's what caused that too fast of an entry. I didn't slow it down a little bit, but if I just tap the brake button, as you can see with my controller here on the bottom right of the screen, if I just tap that button a little bit and just slow it down just a little bit, or just come off the gas and just slow down just a touch, then come up, instead of being here like that, here I would have been here, and I could very easily brought this ball forward, and that could have been a fantastic setup for an air dribble and really any offensive airplay. So these are things that are really key, because then it just became an easy opportunity. I was awkward, and the opponent just essentially shoots a backboard lead. So these are things to be really aware of. This right here coming up here is a really, really key moment, because this is where I actually lose the game. This is the moment where I actually lose the offensive pressure that would have won me the game is right here, this mistake. So once I wanted to go for a wave dash here, but it wasn't necessary. This is a completely unnecessary mechanic to do in this position. It is better to stay grounded, to be in a position where you could be here and just stay positioned in a way that's safe and be able to kind of keep the opponent in a position where it's forcing them out. But because I flipped and also came off the wall there before flipping and trying to I panicked and kind of tried to get back, the opponent just has a completely free open net and they can just do whatever they want. It's a completely stupid position, and do not do this mistake. This is not something you want to do. Stay grounded here. If you're coming up on the wall here, a wave dash can work. Like a wall dash can work here when you try to set up here. That's okay to do, but when you're already flat on the ground and you're in a position like this where I'm already right here, there's no need for it. I'm already covering high. I can cover out, I can cover low, I can cover anything I need to because this type of position. This is why this particular type of fake kickoff can be really effective, because while it does give possession away, in these ranks, a lot of people will actually end up giving possession away back to you. And it's a better version of just simply doing the fake diagonal where you just simply do a half flip kickoff and just go back this way. So it's a different version of it, but this can be effective if you do it correctly. Don't do what I just did there. This is a big mistake, and that's what lost me the game. I like the idea for control touch. Opponent does a good job of recovering here. Not much I could do there. Tunnel visioning towards a goal can be really dangerous. This is dangerous. This is a bad decision. This is a very, very bad decision. Because right here, this position, high committal for 1. 2, puts me in a really bad spot. Opponent's 0 boost, so they kind of have to cover it, but it's in a safe position. It's in their corner. Look how little of an angle there is. Like, if I got here, look how small the goal is right there. Look how little space there is to shoot. Yeah, you can shoot it there. It's high risk, and you can shoot it there. But there's nothing you can do, and this position just gives possession away. It's just completely unnecessary. The bumps are fine. I wish I did get the demo there. That demo there could have potentially sealed the game. Here, I made myself super awkward here. Could have been a lot better by getting the bump here, gone quickly wider. If I went wider here, gone for this pad, and then popped it back for it, gone for a double, that could have been a good shot opportunity right there. And because of this, end up getting a position I can't do anything with. So when you're playing your games, learn from your mistakes. Watch these replays. These are fantastic opportunities to learn. You don't necessarily have to lose, but you can learn. With that being said, if you enjoyed watching this video, I'd like to ask you to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Speed D Man out.